what's up? This is Julia Lester from High School Musical, the series, and you are listening to Young Entertainment Magazine.
From the very beginning. So, when you were first auditioning for the part, did you know that it was for this series that related to High School Musical, but wasn't a direct adaptation of High School Musical? How much of the project was kept a secret from you when you were auditioning?
Yeah, so I actually knew exactly what it was going to be going into it. So it was originally called High School Musical, the musical. So just like there wasn't any the series after it. So from the title alone, like I absolutely freaked out because it's, of course, iconic, and the fact that they were using it in the title of the project was so exciting. So they did give us like the very first draft of the very first script, which is so actually really funny to go back and reread it because it's completely different from what the show ended up being. So we did know a lot of details about the show and the fact that it was going to be based around High School Musical and like taking place at East High and stuff. So it was like super exciting to get that audition in my email.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And so were you a fan of the original High School Musical franchise?
Oh yeah, I'm a diehard theater kid, so High School Musical was a huge part of my childhood. I mean, I remember sitting in front of the TV with my two sisters and watching the premiere of it. Like, yeah, absolutely a huge part of my childhood, and definitely something that fed the soul of all theater kids that like have been itching for a project like that to come out. So yeah, definitely grew up with it and loved it so much.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite of the three?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, okay, so like one is always classic, but I have to go with the second one just because I think everybody wants to go spend a summer at that resort.
Right. Right.
Like,
You're right.
The songs in that, and the songs in that series is like so iconic. So yeah, like me and the rest of the cast, we all love the second one the most, I think.
That's awesome. I think a lot of the
Yeah.
fans like the second one a lot too. That's a really great sequel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so good, so good.
So when did you find out that you got the part, and how excited were you? I'm sure you were super excited.
Yeah. So the whole audition process was about a month. I only like went in 3 different times, but I had to wait like a really long time in between each audition to hear like feedback or if I was coming back or not. So the whole process was about a month. So I was definitely like on the edge of my seat for 30 days. And the last day that I knew would be like the very last day like they could possibly tell me. Like I knew the phone call was coming in. I just didn't know what time. And so I locked myself in my room all day and I told my roommates, I was like, I'm getting a phone call today. I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad, but I just want to be alone and like you'll understand, whatever. They were like, totally, we get you. So I was thinking it would come in the afternoon, but they waited till like 6 p.m. to tell me. So I was just chilling in my room the whole day, like anxiously awaiting that phone call. And then once I got it, my agent played a little trick on me, and they were like, "Hi, Julia," like answered all like somber and stuff. And then the first sentence that they said was, "So we hear Utah is really cold in February." And then I just like absolutely freaked my head off. And I remember saying "no way" like over and over again, just like "no way, no way, no way." Yeah, it was definitely very exciting. I totally blacked out like during that, so all I can remember is screaming "no way."
Oh, that's such a cool story.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, it was definitely like nerve-wracking because I knew exactly when that phone call was coming in. So, yeah, definitely scary, but super fun, and of course it worked out. So
Yeah.
It ended up being a great day.
That's awesome. So when was the first time that you met the other cast members in the show?
The first time I met them?
Yes.
So I actually had already known Josh from before. We did a musical together called Calvin Burger, and it was only like 3 or 4 months before we both got cast in the show. So we were still like super close to our friendship, and the show that we were in was only a 4-person cast, and like both of us happened to book High School Musical out of that 4-person cast. So
Oh, that's awesome. I bet you could tell how great the
Yeah,
series would be after knowing them just for that first table read.
yeah, it was definitely like a um, what's the word? Like a reassurance that the season was going to be super fun and we were going to have a blast. And yeah, just every single day we got closer and closer, and they're literally my family, my brothers and sisters, like best friends for life. Just like some of the best people I've ever met. So it was definitely like an instant connection between all of us.
That's great. So I guess you all were super excited when the news came about season 2 coming out because I think the show got picked up before it actually aired, right?
Yeah, which is absolutely nuts to think about that like the world hadn't even seen our show, but Disney had so much confidence in us and you know loved our show so much it didn't need to care what the audience thought about it. They had the faith in us already, so that was super exciting getting to hear that news even before we had shared the show with the world. And then of course like they released a video of us finding out. So us like on that couch screaming our heads off was like our genuine reaction because we knew that like a conversation like that was going to happen at some point, but none of us were expecting it to happen there because it was like the very first day of our LA press tour. Like there was so much going on. We were like, why would they give us the news now? So our genuine reaction was like true surprise, and us screaming was our actual reaction. We were so excited. We had been waiting so long to hear we were coming back, so it just felt really good to solidify the fact that we were going to be back in Utah soon.
So how much earlier before the premiere did you guys actually film the show?
So we started filming in February of 2019, and then we ended production end of July. So we
Oh,
filmed
okay.
for like 5.5 months, 6 months ish, and then they had July through whatever October for post, but we had finished in the summer.
Oh, okay. Cool. So now I'm going
Yeah,
to ask you a couple questions about your character, Ashlyn.
yeah.
So, first off, how similar would you say that you are to Ashlyn, or how different are you from your character?
So I actually like recently just realized that Ashlyn like is the 15, 16-year-old version of me. Like when I was Ashlyn's age, like a sophomore in high school, we were definitely super similar in the way that we approach things and the fact that like she's a peacemaker and when I was first starting out in high school theater and stuff, I was definitely the one who just like wanted everyone to be happy, like, zero drama, which is still me. Like I have no time for drama, so it's super cool that Ashlyn is like a character who doesn't put herself in situations that are like gossipy or, whatever. She always likes to be friends with everyone. So I appreciate that, and I definitely think that we have a lot of similarities in that sense. And also just in the fact that she's like a literal hippie and what I strive to be. So when she like whips out her crystals and is, reading people's horoscopes and stuff, that's like what I aspire to be. So yeah, we're definitely similar in ways, and also she's better than me. Like I want to like be Ashlyn. Like she's so sweet, and yeah, I wish I had like her confidence and her like ability to just make everyone happy.
Did you pick up any of her hobbies, like the fortune telling and the crystal, like you mentioned?
Oh yeah, so I mean, I was already like pretty similar in those senses, like the vintage clothes and the crystals and like the woo-woo horoscope, whatever. I'm definitely like already like that, so it was super cool getting to jump into a character who has the same interests as me. And then in terms of like things that I want to pick up on as Ashlyn, like I would love to be a songwriter and piano player like she is. So that is definitely something that I like strive to learn. But her hobbies and interests and stuff are very similar to mine, so it's easy to have fun with it and play it.
So you mentioned that Ashlyn likes a lot of vintage things. Do you think that's why Ashlyn was cast as Miss Darbus?
Oh man, I think from first glance, I think that was like maybe not the reason. I think that the energy that she emulated just standing there was like very Miss Jen kind of saw that energy coming from her, not necessarily like in her clothes or in her stance or whatever, but just by what she was radiating. So Miss Jen definitely has like a good eye and could read all of her kids, and yeah, she knew.
That's so cool. So it's an interesting premise here, how you're playing a character, but your character's also playing a character. So you're not really playing Miss Starbus, you're playing someone that's playing Miss Starbus. So does that make the process, exactly, does that make the process a little bit more difficult to know that you're playing a character within a character, or you're playing a character that's playing a character? Does that kind of mess with your head a little bit?
It's weird, because when, like, the way that you explained it, like, yes, it should. Like, a person who's playing a person who's playing another person, like, yeah, it seems like it's confusing, and it should be, but, I don't know. I think the fact that it's just, like, our story is very true to real life theater, and I grew up doing like community and high school theater and stuff, so I don't know if like necessarily it's like when I step into it, I'm like Ashlyn playing Miss Starbus. I think I'm just like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I think we all fit our characters so well that it's really easy to make the transition from the East High student character that we play into whatever show that we're doing. I think that they did a really good job of emulating our characters' energy into the stage characters that we were playing. So the transition between those was like pretty smooth, but I do like have we do like get mixed up with people's names. So like I'm on set and I'll be like, Frankie, I mean Seth, I mean Carlos, I mean who do you play? So that part is confusing because like we get called like 12 different names, but the actual like process of playing it is pretty seamless. Yeah.
That sounds so fun. Like you said, lots of different names to remember.
Yes, definitely. But yes, that is the confusing part. We get called. I'll be called Miss Starbus and then Julia and then Ashlyn all in one day, so I just have to remember like who am I playing? Who am I?
Is there any part about playing Ashlyn that you think is not so much difficult, but is there a hard part to playing Ashlyn? Or is there a hard part to being in a series that has so many moving parts to it, with the acting and the music and the comedy and everything else?
Yeah, I think definitely on the production side of it, it's definitely difficult sometimes, just because, like, especially for season 1, they were definitely figuring out what vibe our show was and the way that they really wanted to tell it, because it is a very different tone than what like Disney is used to doing. So there were a lot of rewrites and a lot of changes, and we always just had to be like on our toes about it, which is totally cool. I'm always up for an adventure, and like change something 2 seconds before we film it, like I'm down. So it was definitely like more exciting than it was like difficult. But everybody in the cast is so professional, and we were always on top of it. So if we had a change, we all knew that like we would come together and make the best out of it. So yeah, but it was fun. It was exciting. I lived for moments like that.
Awesome. So one of the big moments from this season is where you sang the song "Wondering."
Yes.
So what has the response been from fans on that song and on your performance? And have you heard any of the fans cover the song?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, sure. So what has the response been from fans to that song and that performance? And have you seen any fan covers of the song?
Yeah, the response to the song has been overwhelming in the most wonderful way. Like, I never imagined that it would like touch people so in like such emotional ways. Like I didn't realize that people would connect to it in such a strong way, because this song does have like not a specific storyline, but it does have like a structure to it. And so I assume some people would hear it and love it for the melody or whatever, but people are living for the story of the song, which I think is so important. And I get tweets every single day about how the song is helping people through tough times and, making them see the light at the end of the tunnel and just helping people through whatever they are going through. So that has been really, really rewarding as an artist to have something out there that's touching people and making them happier and helping them through times that are difficult. So that's been really, really rewarding.
That's amazing. So hopefully in season 2 you'll get to have a lot more solos and singing songs and duets and things like that. Is there anyone in the cast that you would love to have a duet with, or someone in the cast that you haven't had a scene with that you'd love to have a storyline with?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so actually Josh and I joke about this all the time, but the musical that I was talking about, the one that we did together, it was only a 4-person cast, and we never interacted on stage.
Oh. That's so coincidental.
Yeah, exactly. Only 4 people, and the 2 of us never talked on stage once. And then it just so happens that in the first season, we had maybe 1 or 2 moments that we shared, but we literally Ricky and Ashlyn having a relationship or being pals or anything being shown on screen was zero. We saw none of that. So definitely Josh and I are itching for our scene finally after 2 years of knowing each other and never getting to have a scene together. That would be super cool. We joke about it all the time because of course by chance of course we would never even get to interact. So we are definitely itching for scenes together in season 2.
Now they have to make it happen. It's there's no choice. Yes. They gotta make it happen at some point.
I know. I have high hopes for it. I mean, I think, we're all becoming closer friends, and we all know each other a little bit better in season 2. So hopefully there will be some Ricky Ashlyn moments because Josh and Julia want them so bad.
Yeah. So speaking of moments in season 2, are we gonna get more moments between Ashlyn and Big Red, do you think?
Oh man, I hope so. We haven't gotten any of the scripts or anything yet, so my hope is yes, definitely. I love the way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, here you keep going.
Oh, okay. Cool. I love the way that the season ended, and it definitely started a clean slate and new chapter for Ashlyn and Big Red. So I'm definitely hopeful that there will be some cute moments that we share in season 2.
Oh yeah, do you guys have a ship name yet, or have fans given you guys a couple name?
Yes, we're called Redland, which I'm here for because it's either that or Big Rashlyn, and that doesn't sound cute.
That one doesn't sound as good.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. So Redland is official ship name.
Oh great, good. I think everyone's gonna get behind that one.
Yes, please, because Big Rashlyn would be tragic.
So one more question that I have about, I know you guys don't know about season 2 yet, and you guys haven't started filming, but it's been confirmed that season 2 isn't gonna address High School Musical 2. So have you been given any hints about what musical the cast is gonna be doing next?
Yeah, so that is the one piece of information that we do know, but I can't say anything. I wish I could, but I can't wait for the reveal and for everyone to find out what show it is, because yeah, it should be really fun, and we'll definitely be High School Musical is definitely going to be kept alive throughout the season, because that's the heart of our show. We go to East High, of course we're going to be making High School Musical references forever. We're literally in the school where it happened, so no matter what turn the show takes, we'll definitely still have High School Musical at its heart for sure.
Oh yay, that's so exciting. We're all waiting patiently to find out what's gonna be the musical for season 2.
I know. I'm so excited for everyone to find out. Oh, I wish I could tell you. It's gonna be really cool.
So, one other thing that I want to ask you about, which was speaking of keeping High School Musical alive and at the heart of the series, you recently met with Allison Reed, who played the original Miss Darbus in the High School Musical
Yes.
movie franchise. So, what was that like, and how incredible was that moment?
It was amazing. It was like such a wonderful like meet and greet that they set up for the two of us because it wasn't for anything specific. It wasn't like a huge production that like took a million years of planning. It was just something that they wanted to have happen. And Allison is such a huge supporter of the arts and a huge supporter of our show, and of course a huge supporter of Disney because she's, you know, iconic for her role as Miss Darbus. So it was just such a nice meeting that they set up, and she is so lovely, and I was so starstruck. Seeing that like iconic face and voice in person was super, super cool. And yeah, it was such a lovely opportunity that Disney gave us because yeah, it wasn't for anything specific. They just really wanted us to meet, which I thought was so, so nice. And she's so lovely.
Do you have a favorite Miss Darbus line from the movies?
Oh my gosh. I mean, the phone bucket is like every theater teacher in the world. So when she's screaming at people for being on their phones, that's like very accurate to real life high school theater teachers. So probably that. Like the phone bucket is just like I've had a phone bucket before. Like I've gotten yelled at for being on my phone during theater. So she better slay and like get those phones like out of people's faces.
That's so awesome. I bet a lot of theater teachers took inspiration from that and got their own phone bucket.
Oh, I'm sure. There was like in high school we had a you know those like shoe compartments that like you put on the back of your closet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Little, yeah. So that was our version of the phone bucket. So if you saw a phone in those little pockets, you knew that person was in deep trouble.
That's so great. So, let's see. I have one final question for you, and that's: do you have a favorite Disney Plus show other than, of course, High School Musical, the series?
Oh my gosh. Diary of a Future President just came out, and it is wonderful. It is so inspirational and such a great show for everyone. I mean, it's definitely for all ages, but for sure, middle schoolers who could look up to a show like that and the writing and the message that it's sending. Yeah, that is such a beautiful show. I can't wait for like more episodes to come out.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. That's a really great one.
Yeah, it's so lovely.
So that's all the questions that I have for you.
Hey, what's up? This is Julia Lester from High School Musical, the series, and you are